Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. But guys, our team builder here for week 1 of the WBE Sword and Shield edition. For those who aren't familiar, this is what we call Draft League Pokemon, where we draft a team of 10 Pokemon and battle it out against other YouTubers or other coaches. This week, we actually get to face off against the Milwaukee Sawsbucks and Coach Steve, or Magnitude, who is the founder of Draft League Pokemon going back about 7 years. I've been playing Draft League for a super duper long time, and it's only fitting that we get to battle Steve first. Now, there's a couple things I want to address in this video before we jump into the thick of things. One, I'm playing WBE entirely legitimate, so there could be instances where my Pokemon are less than perfect. Maybe they don't have PP ups, maybe they don't have the right stats, maybe something's wrong with them, who knows? I'm gonna do my best. If I lose some games because of it, just know that I made a vow, or I vowed to play Pokemon Sword and Shield 1,000,000% legit. For those who don't know, the standard in Draft League is that people do what's called gen their Pokemon. I am not doing that. This week, however, I did have my friend Zoe help me with EV training because I've been so busy preparing for Texas. I have to also mention that I have not really played any single battles since Sword and Shield came out. I've been focusing on double battles. In this video, I'm going to break down the team, what I'm expecting Steve to bring, and the Pokemon that he has on his team, as well as what I'm bringing on my team. If you have not seen our draft breakdown, you can check that out in the description below. I also have to mention that I'm not feeling very well. I'm starting to get a pretty wicked cold. My voice is starting to hurt really badly, so we're just going to get through this, and it is what it is. Hopefully next week I'll feel better, and again, I have to kind of hustle a little bit because I am going to Texas this weekend, which is when this goes up. So please take a second out of your day, like the video, subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are on the team. So Steve's team, he's got a GIGANTAMAX Copperajah, which has the max Steel Spike ability to basically set up Steel Stealth Rocks. It's basically Stealth Rock, but a Steel type. Very, very cool. It's actually really good. My team doesn't really mind it too much. I have actually quite a few Steel resistances, but it's something that we have to really keep in mind because it could do a lot of damage to things like Rhydon and stuff like that. Otherwise, Copperajah, when it maxes, is just very strong. With Max Quake, it can boost its special defense, it can run Life Orb, it can also run Assault Vest, so it can just be really bulky overall. Gothitelle is very scary because I don't have a Dark type in my team, so you can easily use Trick on Gothitelle to trap something and then ultimately set up on me with like Cosmic Power. So if my opponent brings Gothitelle, I have to be really mindful of what Pokemon I have on the field. Luckily, he cannot trap my Chandelure, which is good. Mimikyu, we have to break that thing's disguise because Mimikyu is one of the few things that can really wreck my team if I don't break the disguise, so I have to work around that. Appleton is very, very bulky, of course, Grass and Dragon, but it doesn't like Ice type moves. However, it can mitigate that with Thick Fat. He could run some sort of berry set with Ripen or something like that, so I have to be careful there. Sandaconda is just a very bulky physical attacker that has Sand Spit. It can set up the sand, which can be a little annoying. It can also set up hazards. Vaporeon is a very bulky water type, but it doesn't have Toxic in this game, so Yawn is the best status it can do. It can also Wish and pass around. Selgor is a great lead, being able to set up spikes or toxic spikes and hit very hard. It's so fast, it actually outspeeds the entirety of my team, so I have to be very careful how I deal with the Selgor. Charizard is just a massive threat, of course, being able to hit very powerful air slashes and things like that, so you have to be mindful of that, but luckily it cannot Dynamax. Hitmontop is his really good hazard removal. It gets Rapid Spin, of course, which could boost its speed. It also gets Intimidate to slow down on physical attackers. And last but not least is Manectric, which I don't necessarily anticipate, but it's a fast electric type with Volt Switch. So that's his team. I think he's going to bring the Copperajah and the Mimikyu for sure. I think his Selgor makes way too much sense not to bring. I think he has to bring Vaporeon, otherwise Chandelure runs through him. And then from there, I think we're looking at maybe Gothitelle or maybe Sandaconda or something like that. So Copperajah, Mimikyu, Selgor, Vaporeon. I think those four make a lot of sense. I think Gothitelle and Sandaconda or Hitmontop are probably going to round it out. So let's talk about our team, what we're bringing and why we're bringing it. I've got my free hugs here, our Pincurchin. Now, Pincurchin, I did shiny hunt for. This is a legitimate Pincurchin, all minted out. It's got the Rocky Helmet, which is going to take some damage from some of the physical attackers like Mimikyu and kind of whittle them down. It's also very good at setting up status and hazards with spikes and toxic spikes. So I've got Discharge to poison thing or paralyze things, and Memento, which can hopefully give me momentum to potentially try to sweep my opponent. You'll notice I also have the Electric Surge, so I can set up the Electric Surge and put myself in a spot where we can hopefully do some work there. The next Pokemon I'm bringing is our Skyline. Skyline has the Leftovers as its held item. It's a very bulky Skyline set. Light Metal, and he's got Substitute, Dragon Tail, Flash Cannon, Thunder Wave. You might start to notice a little bit of a theme with this team. It really revolves around me actually paralyzing and statusing my opponent because he's got a faster team than me, and hopefully winning the game with something like Hatterene or Flapple. Thunder Wave, Flash Cannon, Dragon Tail, Substitute. I can substitute up on Vaporeon, which is really cool, and he actually doesn't break my sub unless he's very offensively invested, and we are rocking a especially defensive boosting nature. I had to use Mints on this guy. We've got Lumiere here, which is a Choice Specs Chandelure. I was originally going to run Choice Scarf, but we're actually going to run Choice Specs because I feel like even though outspeeding him is really useful, I think the damage output that Specs is really good because there's really no switch into Specs. So Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, Trick, and Clear Smog. Clear Smog could be really clutch against something like the Gothitelle if it tries to set up on me, so you have to be careful there. I've got the Electric Seed Flapple, and this is one of the things that I thought of with this team is being able to utilize Pincurchin's Electric Terrain and trying to figure out a way to take advantage of that. With the Electric Seed, it actually allows me to live a Life Orb Play Rough from a Mimikyu. I can also live a Play Rough from a Caparaja when it's maxed, so that boost on the defense could be really, really clutch for us. And our objective here is to hopefully sweep with Dragon Dance. If we can get Fritter in with the Electric Terrain up, maybe after a Memento from Pincurchin, we can then effectively go for a Dragon Dance, get that boost to our speed and our attack, we can Gigantamax, and then we can fire off some really big attacks. You might be confused to why I have Bullet Seed. I'm hoping it works out. It's to break the Mimikyus to size and then chip it away. So that's the hope there. Acrobatics gives us a speed boost when we max, and we'll obviously consume our berry. And then Sucker Punch is there, so I can hit the Caparaja pretty hard. I don't obviously, it also helps me hit the Gothitelle and things like that, and it's also a really nice priority move for a Selgor if a Selgor comes in and outspeeds me. And also the Acrobatics is nice for Hitmon top too. I've got Hatterene. This is a bulky Hatterene set with leftovers. It's got Magic Bounce, so it can reflect out any of those status moves or anything like that, Roar or whatever. I think Hatterene could be our win condition in this game, rocking Draining Kiss, Baton Pass, Calm Mind, and Nuzzle. Nuzzle's really cool as it can paralyze my opponent. I can proceed to Calm Mind up my defense or special defense and special attack stats, and then Draining Kiss to get a tremendous amount of health back. I also have the ability to Baton Pass, so if that Gothitelle comes in and tries to trap me, I can Baton Pass those Calm Mind boosts over to a Chandelure and then try to win the game from there, actually, which is really cool. That's where the Scarf Chandelure is really nice, but I think the Specs one is going to just be better overall. And then last but not least is Rhydon. I have to bring Rhydon as a way to deal with the Charizard and the Manectric, otherwise those two Pokemon can be really detrimental to my team. I've got the, of course, the Lightning Rod there, which doesn't really matter, but Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Rock Blast, and Moon Blast, just getting up those, or Mega Horn rather. Mega Horn's for Gothitelle in case it traps me. Rock Blast is nice for Focus, Sash of Selgor, and for Charizard, Charty Berry. Earthquake just hits a lot of things, especially the Caparaja and the Manectric. So that's really our rundown there. Pretty brief team builder. Like I said, I am feeling a bit under the weather. I did train this team up and breed it and everything like that, so this is kind of a new change for me for WBE. But again, thank you to my friend Zoe for taking the time to help me EV train because I just have been so busy. But I will definitely, hopefully do it next week. But that's it for our team builder, guys. I hope you guys are excited for the match. You'll see the matches every Saturday up on youtube.com/aDrive, of course. And again, we take on the Sawsbucks. Hopefully we can pick up a W. This is going to be an interesting match. Like I said, I haven't had a tremendous amount of time to prepare or anything like that. So we're just going to have to wing it for week 1 until I get through the Dallas, Texas regionals. Thank you guys again. I'll see you guys in the battle. And hopefully we pick up our first win of the season. Peace. Butterfree, go!